We have talked about SWOT analysis and business model, talking about the startup. Another important issue that we need to follow is to create a business plan and to create pitch and market entry strategies. Startups need to have a business plan. Business plan is exactly the way you are explaining the roadmap from financial and organizative point of view about what you want to do, and have a model that you need to follow. A business plan is someone that you can show to your stakeholders, your financier, the bank, to provide financial part of activities to finance the activities that you need to perform, to buy the technology, to engage people and staff. So creating a business plan means to show an history where you write exactly what you think, what is your objective, what is your scope, and the way to achieve the goal that you are writing in a business plan. Let me start line by line about the explanation about how I need to compose a business plan. First of all, I start with an executive summary, highlighting mission, value proposition, target market, key objective, and summary of your financial position. Again, remember, we are talking about something that people are reading. So I need to be deep. I need to be clear. I need to be convincing people that what I'm doing, what I'm proposing, what I'm planning is exactly able to achieve the goal. So when I mean highlight mission means let me explain exactly what is the mission that I want to achieve. When I talk about value proposition again, let me explain why the new customer will be engaged to be my client and why they will change supplier from the old one to the new one. Which is my target market and which kind of financial projection I imagine to achieve during my part. Company description. Second point, I needed to detail my idea about company. Again, don't forget that a startup is a baby company. Now, who is reading your business plan need to understand your idea about company. What is your idea about a company? Who are part of your startup? Who are inside about his competence, his capacity, his chance, and what is the limits that you have found. So mission, vision, value, social issue. Don't forget about a social issue. A startup can achieve goal and successful activities if have also a social issue. Small and medium enterprise have rules in the context where they are operating or where they are burning. So it's important to remember that the social issues, the social impact can have a positive effect versus who is reading your business plan. Point number 3 is the market analysis. When you have done your SWOT analysis, your business model, we have already talked about the market analysis. Understand exactly what is the trend, the potential, the competitors, the weakness and the strengths, market research. Who is reading a business plan need to understand very well that the environment where your startups will act is perfectly known by you. So you will details about what is the market analysis that you have performed, how many competitors you have, how many potential market size you can imagine to have, which kind of problem you are going to solve. When we talk about value proposition and the way to convince a client to be your customer, so transforming a lead in a customer, you are solving a problem. And when you make your idea, you start thinking about if people have this problem, I can sell. And I can sell in the market, I can put in the market this solution to resolve this problem. So underline the problem that you are going to solve is important, because this shows exactly the potential that you have. And knowing the trends means actually market is moving in this direction. We have already talked about the opportunity that the agreement between African country can provide to the startups to enlarge the potential market size, to enlarge the potential customers dimension. Not to create startups, not to create a company that are facing only the local market, but having same rules, some regulations, some compliance. You can create export in an easy way. You don't need to adapt every time your proposal to different regulation. But in Africa, everybody will use the same rules, the same regulations. So it's important that when you make your market research, you are also design the steps about the market evolution. I will start locally. After 1 year, I will go to my neighboring markets, and after year by year, I will increase my markets. In this way, having this analysis, who is reading your business plan will be able to understand the dimension of the company that you want to achieve, the evolution of your strategy, the different level of number of potential client that you want to achieve, and where your product or solution can be usable all over in the continent. Start thinking about what an African needs, which kind of problem you can solve in Africa. Before to think about a startup able to go out of Africa, start to think about the Africa needs, which kind of problem you can solve in your continent, starting from your small environment. I mean, what you have around you. Solving this and answering to this, you can validate your idea and you will find different markets step by step. Customer segmentation. It's important as a point 4 that you indicate which kind of segmentation you have identified for your product or solution. Again, remember that modern marketing is addressed to the client and not to the products. The old school of marketing push company to think about product. My product, it will be accepted or not from this customer segmentation. My product, it will be nice or not. My price, it will be nice or not for my customer segmentation. Actually, the modern marketing is starting to study my customer segmentation. Will we appreciate my value proposition? Will appreciate my proposal? It will be to benefit from my proposal. So remember that client, it will be the center of your strategies, not product center of your strategies. To sell something, you need to satisfy a client. To sell and to take profit selling something, you need to satisfy client and needs of clients. So client, it will be put every single moment at the center of your strategy. It will be center of your activities. Let me be back again to the business model. When I think about the customer relationship, it's important to remember that all activities, all partnership must be going to the direction of the client. What the client can appreciate. When I choose my distribution channel, I need to think where my customer segmentation client love to buy something. They love to go in the big mall where they can find a lot of shops and they can choose and they can evaluate a lot of different solutions. Okay, my channel will be the mall. Is my client love to buy online because it's full of things to do every day? So I will act putting at disposal to my customer segmentation the online buying. So I will develop a website, I will develop an e-commerce platform where I can satisfy the needs of my client. You read again the words about the value proposition. In the business plan, you need to remember that it's fundamental to transfer to the reader why a customer will be choose your idea. Again, customer, center of the activities, center of the marketing idea. Have the chance and the opportunity to choose where they want and they can buy something. We are not talking about the old system where if you want to drink, there is only one water, drink this glass of water. Now, the quantity of product in the market are very large. And for this reason, to create an impact, not only social, but also to be appreciated for a client, it's important that your value proposition must be unique, if it's possible, or the best way you can do it. Concentrate activity on the value proposition and validate that the value proposition that you are offering in the market, it's what the market is asking or what the client is asking. It's important to understand if your way is a good way or not. It's important to understand if your startup can create a social, successful impact or not. If you can work for a long time, or if you have a short life of the company and the product. And the marketing and sales strategy, it will be connected directly to the value proposition. Every single moment, the value proposition that you are offering in the market has to be emphasized. People need to identify your proposal thanks to your value proposition. And when you are selling something, when you are working around the branding or an advertising to promote what you are doing, it's important that are respecting the value proposition. And remember that value proposition is a message that you are putting on the table of your client, and the client are waiting that you are respecting what you are promised. If you said I'm the best shipper, my airline company, the most comfortable company in the world, and I'm arrived to the airplane and the seat is not comfortable, you are filed to transfer the value proposition. People will remark that you are telling something that this is not true. So remember that when you are analyzing and fixing your value proposition, you need to validate to understand, is the scenario of my client able to appreciate and understand what I'm telling? If my organization able to respect the promise that I'm transferred to my client? Don't joke around this value proposition, because it's not only an idea. Value proposition is the identity card of what you are doing. As the way to convince people to be your client, as the way to create a brand awareness, as the way where people said, okay, I believe in what they said, or I don't believe because this company, through this product or solution, are declaring not the truth. And when you fired telling lies to your client, you lose. And even if you are applying a lot of marketing and sales strategy, fighting with the price, fighting with advertising, multiplying your post on Facebook and the social network, it will be impossible to have again, to have back the trust of your client. So don't forget, value proposition is the way to identify what you are doing, and in the business plan, the way to explain to the reader, I will have a successful, I will be someone who's successful because there is a difference between me and the other, and what I'm promised, I will do. It's important also in the business plan create a description about what you are offering, a product or services. In this case, it's important that the reader understand very clearly which kind of solution you solve. So the reader need to understand exactly that you have identified the problem. Even if your product or solution is already existent in terms of a market, you have found that there is an additional problem, or you can update the solution, or you can update the satisfaction of the client. This is a problem that you solve. So to create a good business plan is important that you have identified and validate again that what you think about, I'm solve this problem, I identify the problem and I'm able to solve it. I know exactly which kind of space I have in the market to offer my product or my solution. And I solve this problem. And I have found exactly the way where the potential client, my lead, can find a satisfaction, can find solution thanks to what I'm offering in the market. In the business plan also, it's important that you add also which kind of day-to-day operation you will do it. What means explain to the reader all your idea about product and solution production, marketing strategies, client satisfaction achieved, channel distribution jointly, idea about marketing campaign and promotional campaign. What do you do? In which manner you can achieve all of this? And the day-to-day operation is also the way to explain we have a staff able to do something. We will buy in external the competence that we don't have. We will feel the entire operation day by day because we are able to follow our client and our production system and our marketing strategy day by day, thanks to this list of things to do. Day by day means that every single day be an entrepreneur, open a startups, develop a company, means to be engaged in what you do. Remember that when you are planning a startups, you are starting to be an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur created thanks to his company, startups, a project for his life. And day by day is involved in. Don't confuse to be the owner of a startups and to be someone that can spend the time using money and enjoy the life. When you are thinking about startups, you are engaging yourself in activity day to day. And every single day, you need to do something. Every single day, you need to evaluate, check, control the performance about what you are doing. And what the company is doing. And when I talk about the company, it's a sort of family, your staff, what is doing and in which manner they are working, what is the reaction of the market. Don't forget that when you are entering in a market, your competitors create a reaction. Even if you can update a solution, you get involved in problem solving about an old solution, your competitors, they will be react in 1 day, 1 week, 1 year, but they will not sit down waiting that they can lose the market and giving all the power to you. So the day by day operation, it's important because you are monitoring what you are doing, you are checking what you are doing, you are training you, company and staff, client, product, technology. You are training all of these elements in the market. And you are achieving the answer to the market, to the client, to update what you are doing. We was just talk about the team, the staff that you have. It's important that you learn the way to create a team management. Management means to be involved every day in what you do. Manage a team means to have the right key person in the right key role. If you have in your team, in your staff, the right person, let's go. If you don't have, let me repeat again, you can buy from outside a specific competence, or you can engage a new member of your team. Spend the time and sometimes money for training people. And when you are talking in your business plan, the reader must read that, okay, this entrepreneur, this manager, know perfectly the way to manage the company, but also having in his hand team able to work in a perfect way, with the right competence, with the right skill. And when they need some additional things, or it is necessary to do something different because market is asking for something different, they are ready to buy from external or to improve skill capacity about part of the team member. So it's important that the reader of a business plan understand your position and your point of view from this part of the things. Don't forget, I can believe an entrepreneur if is able to guide a car in a perfect way. If there is some mistake or some part that is missing during the driving time, I'm afraid about. So I don't believe in the potential. And of course, to be sure, point number 10, a reader needed to read what are the financial projection about the startups. What are the leader of these startups imagine in terms of financial projection? Few years, 3, 5, it depends of the context, on the environment of the country, on the product, on the solution. You can imagine telling you the true optimistic, but not with fantasy. What is the meaning of? You must be optimistic because you have inside the fire to have to feel and to be to reach your goal. But you can be realistic, not imagine that in only 1 year or 2 years, your company, the startup that is starting from zero, it will be the best seller in the world. So when you are preparing a business plan and you are in the point 10 financial projection, be optimistic but realistic. And validate what you are going to do. If you are imagining to sell 10 bottles of water per day, be sure that you have the number of clients that can buy this. And you can validate with a test how many bottles of water in this supermarket they sell. 10. If the answer is 10, you can't imagine to satisfy 100% the inquiry of bottle of water. So you are using fantasy and not optimistic point of view. So be sure about the financial projection can be respectable. When you are working with funding requirement, people that are judging your idea and your startups are expert and know very well what you are doing. So again, show to these people a plan that can be real and not full of fantasy. And if you are asking to someone to put his money to contribute to finance your startups, prepare and set an exit strategy where your idea about the future of your company, it will be preserved. I mean, are you creating something that you want to sell after some times because your idea is not to be part of the company for all your life? Okay, exit strategy is reversed to you. Okay, after 3 years, 5 years, I will be exit and I will win this amount of money. Vice versa, is a contribution of a financer necessary for the startup moments, good. After 3 or 5 years, this associate will come out. So the exit strategy, it will be directed in order to create a winning moment for the financial contributors, and you will be the owner of your idea. Not necessary. A startup need an external intervention for financing activity. Sometimes you can ask and you can show your business plan to a bank to receive. They will not associate, but you need only to reimburse the loan that you have received. So there is no exit strategy to put in place, but the reimbursing plan to calculate. So in your financial plan, you need to consider it. Just to be back and to resuming, what is the business plan? It's done by an executive summary, a company description, a market analysis, a customer segmentation, a value proposition, a marketing and sales strategy, a product or service description, an operation and implementation activity description, and team and management description, financial projection, and, in case of external, funding requirement and exit strategy. We are on a place where you need to show what you are doing. With a business plan, you can be able to go to someone and to show what you are doing. This is naming the pitch. An elevator pitch is a place where you draw your idea and you focus attention on your idea. So it's important that you are able to capture the essence of your startup. Again, as we talk about the business plan, you show the social problem that you are addressing. It means that you clearly demonstrate the impact that your idea, your startups can create in your social environment, which solution you have found. Solution, its unique features, as you can read. It's important again and again when you talk about your pitch. And the pitch is the way to promote yourself, and the way to communicate to external people what you are doing to do, why you think about it, why they don't believe, they can't believe in you. Bank, financier, associate, it's important that you put in evidence what is the solution and what is your value proposition. It is aim and help people to understand what you are doing. Show the market opportunity that you can show in the present and the future. What is the business model? We talked in the first part of our meeting about a business model. What is the business model that you are following? Value proposition, way to contact the client, the channel that you are using, activity that you have put on the field to achieve your goal. What is the milestone that you want to follow? Why it's important? Because this is create a potential credential for your project. Have you achieved already something? Have you have an expertise already applied with someone? Have you worked with someone, or have you a particular expertise that you want to show to validate what you are doing? Perfect. During the pitch, you can show it. It's important that you show it. The competitive landscape, it's important because you are showing the competitive environment, and you said, okay, everybody are doing this. My proposal is this one. So everybody in 1 second can understand very well what is the difference between you and your competitors, why your idea can be interesting, can be a winner idea instead of what in the market already exists. Again, you talk small about the financial projection, and you show the team and expertise. Why? During the pitch, who is assisting to your pitch, to your presentation, need to understand that an idea is done by someone that knows exactly the environment where you play. So it's important to transfer the idea. Again, don't be afraid if some part of the activity are not covered by an expertise in the team. You will declare, from this part of activity, we will use external consultants, or we will buy the service from external professional and skilled companies. It's not important that everything is inside. And at the end, you need to propose a call to action. Are you pitching for who? To looking for a financier? Okay, good. Let us go invest with us. Are you pitching for an agreement within a partner? Okay, let's start to talk about our partnership. It's important that when you create a pitch, when you are talking with someone, you know exactly the scope of your presentation. So pitching is the way that you can use to demonstrate and to talk about your idea. With a scope, don't forget that every time you have a scope about it. Now it's time, after a pitching, to enter in the market. You have different steps to do, different stage to fill. You need to create a product or service development. You have validate your idea, and now you need to develop, to create your product or service ready to be put on the market according to the business plan and the market research that you have performed. After a validation, you need to test and to verify that effectively your product, your solution meet the inquiries of the market. So you are creating a soft launch or pilot. What meaning that you have concentrate in a smaller audience, your client, they can test it, they can give you feedback, and you can correct if necessary before a full-scale launch of your product. So the market entry must be planned, remembering that every time you need to validate what you are doing, not on the paper, not a level of analysis, but a level of pilot test. Pilot test means to be reactive, to be incisive, to be present in the market with what you are offering, and to collect feedback. Feedback and response are the base of this part of activity. After this, you are an expanded distribution channel. You are starting with a small part of, you are validating your proposal, you are correct. If there is some mistake, to correct. You need to meet the maximum number of customer that you have identified. So you need to explore again, when you are exploring new distribution channel, you need to validate it. So following the same idea that we have soft launch or pilot and full-scale launch, even if for distribution channel, you need to follow the same way. Test and validate. Improve. Every single service, every single product can be improved thanks to the feedback of user. And when we talk about user, we talk about client. And when we talk about client, I remember to you that we are talking about the center of your attention. You are not creating a product. You are satisfying a need of your client. So the feedback that you can receive from a client are fundamental to understand, okay, what I'm doing is good or not, I need to correct or not. And in this way, you can plan a scalability action from the beginning to the point where you arrive. If you have validated, if you have collected feedback, you can plan a scalability action. If you don't know where you need to do and what you need to have, and not collect the feedback of your potential client and your client, you never plan a scalability action, because you don't know exactly which kind of opportunity can be created thanks to your product. So get a user feedback and monitor key metrics. Fix the parameters where you can be sure about the successful operation of your activities, where your clients are happy, when your selling activities is good or not. Fix some key metrics that you have identified during your business plan. You know that you need to sell 10 bottles of water to create a break-even. And the expansion plan is to arrive in the next month to 12 bottles of water. Okay, the key metrics 12. Have a monitoring of the key metrics is fundamental to analyze and correct the activity that you are performing. If something wrong happen, analyze why and take the opportunity measure to correct and to achieve what is your goal. If you need a strategic partnership, I'm living in a country 1 and I want to sell in the country 2, but the investment to arrive in the market are very high, and now in terms of startups, I don't have the resource, the financial resource that allow me to enter in the new market. Perfect. Let me work around strategic partnership. The strategic partnership allow me to reduce cost, to share risk, and to have someone that maybe know exactly the market where I want to go. And sharing the risk, having this knowledgement about the market, the partnership can help me to increase the speed of the new market. And maybe I can find that market in the country 2 is better than in my country. So thanks to partnership, I can use knowledgement, I can use expertise, I can use market, even if it's not my market, even if was not at the beginning my first objective. But it's important that using the key metrics, I understand very well where is my limits, where is my problem, where is my dream, where I can go, and why I can satisfy, if I can, the client, even if in the market too. Don't be afraid about the partnership. Don't be afraid about your network. Don't be afraid about the connection between operators. Startups need, in particular way, during the first years of activity, to have a partnership that can help a startup to achieve a part of the goal put on a business plan. So locally or in another country, don't be afraid about partnership. It's important that you are selecting in a perfect way partnership that can achieve and that can have the same goal and the same objective. Thank you very much for your attention, and see you next time.